Hello Aries, I am Ulrich, I'm a Lenormand card reader, but today we will use a financial deck for your card reading. These are very good guides. They tell you how you can save money if you have certain behaviors that are incorrect or that could make you save money. The cards will tell us or how to make certain adjustments in your life so you can have a simpler, better life or how you can make more money. Anyway, Aries, here I go for your financial card reading for the month of April. Hello Aries, and welcome to your financial card reading for the month of March. As your first card here, we see that we probably live beyond our means. Maybe it's a difficult period for us. Maybe we spend a little bit too much. Maybe we were a little bit too frivolous with our money here. This card tells us it's actually a quite strict card. It tells us that it's better for you if you don't have certain monies not to spend it, especially not on credit cards. Well, why? Well, and mostly if we spend on the credit cards and we cannot balance the amount, we pay big interests. And of course, it don't improve our financial situation. If we keep on working with the credit cards, it can bring us in difficult situation. Maybe some people would literally hit their head against the wall. So the more this debt would deepen, the more efforts and you will need to do for getting out it afterwards. So be careful if you do certain purchases, because by the end of the month here we need to pay some of these cards. This is also about expensive credit cards. Some credit cards, if you are in the traditional banks, they have normal rates, but normally we have several credit cards, and if you have a certain credit card that always gives you money, even if you are already very below zero, and the card keeps giving you money, this is probably a card that charges you a lot of interest. You need to be very careful with these interests. Don't be surprised if they charge you 20 to 30% if you don't pay back. Maybe you'll tell to yourself, yeah, but I need the money. Well, this card actually tells us otherwise. Maybe we need to set certain limitations. Maybe we need to limit ourselves a little bit here with this card, because else this card would not be here. Also, you need to see for yourself, this has actually no value for you because you do a certain purchase, it costs you a certain amount, but the interests, they have no value for you, and they put a strain, a stress on your budget here, and it's better not to go in there. Sometimes this card is also that we need to be careful, that we need to safeguard ourselves from unexpected expenses. There could be something in the near future that you have some expenses that you didn't see coming, that you didn't expect. I'm not one to hear putting a black cloud over you, but this is also a protective card. It tells you that be careful, because maybe something is hanging in the balance later on. We never know where it's coming from. These are harsh times for a lot of people. So be careful if you make certain expenses. If you don't spend, you don't need to pay it back. This is also a very good advice here from this card that we are getting here. So this card tells you go on an adventure this month, and instead of paying with your credit card or paying for things that you don't actually live or actually living beyond your means, go on the adventure of not spending. The next card could be one of the reasons why you are in certain problems. This is the card from superstitious buying. What does this card tell us? Well, it asks you how many purchases lately that you would have been able to avoid. There are certain monies in your life that has gone up in smoke without generating actually value. It's actually closely related to the first card. This probably relates to the interests that you are paying on the credit cards. And this card tells us also to take a few minutes of your time to assess the expenses of the last month. Output your bills, your credit cards, your debit cards, and also the things that you have paid cash. Maybe you have still certain tickets. Just check there if you have bought certain things also and you paid cash for them. And if you put this all together, just then think, could you have without certain of these things? Probably you could have, because else this card would not be here. These are also sometimes called incidental costs. But if these incidental costs always pop up every month, are these really incidental costs? Most people, or most people, they tend to spend more on frivolous things than you think, or maybe you do the same here. And by limiting these extras, you can accumulate attractive amounts, maybe for something unexpected in the future, or maybe you need to make some adjustments in your house. Maybe you can save for your retirement. Maybe your children need something. Anyway, we need to be careful here. There can always pop something on, or maybe some problem pop up with your car. We never know here what is coming here. Anyway, this card here, it gives you the opportunity to think about these unnecessary things that you are buying. It's also about changing our habit. This card asks you to change certain habits in your life and take a more healthy financial lifestyle. Then the last card that we see here is the card of youth. Aries is the youngest sign of the belt. They are more head on to it, literally. They are more youthful. They mostly, if Aries, even they are older already, they still have a very young point of view. They're all mostly always ready for an adventure. And this card is about the famous diction, boys will be boys and girls just want to have fun. So you probably also use it to justify some financial recklessness in the past, but probably also it cost you, as we saw in the previous cards. And sometimes we suffer from these impacts or outbursts here that we are seeing here, regardless the person's age. Cash management and optimization of our cash, it requires a form of maturity, and this awareness it's accentuated and perfected as we get older. It's the circle of life. Of course, people who are able to get this purchasing or this spending behavior quickly under control and changing certain consumption habits, they come out strongly favored compared to people who have some difficulties with that. So here we are asked to reflect over the fact, if you compare yourself with your peers, exactly where you are. This card asks us also questions. It asks you, are you mature, or do you still have spendthrift? Are you already wise, or don't you have control over your outbursts? Here, this card tells us we are never too young to be financially mature, and we are never too old to change financial behaviors. If you have the advantage here with this card of youth, and at the same time you're financially mature, this card tells you that if you do efforts, they soon will be greatly rewarded. If you have the assets of being older, wiser, experienced, use those abilities in your advantage, enjoy life's gifts with moderation, and if you do so, rewards or more happiness in your life will follow soon. So Aries, this is all for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. There are also 3 other card readings. We have the classic Lenormand card readings, and then we have the spiritual philosophical card readings, who are more guides for life. So if you put the 3 together, you have a very good overview for the month to come. Anyway, Aries, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for subscribing, and we see each other next time. Bye-bye for now.